we are ready to start the demonstration.
Proceed.
A Corellian Corvette has been modified to house an experimental cloaking device. This test will confirm our ability to cloak a small starship or freighter with a much lower power consumption than ever before. Ultimately, we hope to adapt this mechanism for use on an Imperial starfighter.
Very impressive. How close are you to perfecting this device?
Unfortunately, some technical problems remain. There is a mysterious and possibly catastrophic instability that is caused by using this device in conjunction with hyperdrive engines.
Interesting. Keep me informed on your progress. I may have a use for this device very soon.
Admiral Thrawn, I am promoting you to Grand Admiral for your obedient service to the Empire. You will join my inner circle of 12 Grand Admirals who will command all Imperial forces for the glory of the Empire.
Emperor, your faith in me is well placed. How may I serve you next?
You must track down Zarin and destroy his forces once and for all. Grand Admiral Thrawn, do not fail me.
The traitor Zarin cannot run forever. Soon he will be in our grasp.
We are here to honor one who has served the Empire.
Hello everyone, I hope you can hear me. Very funny, James. So yeah, I'm not used to this live streaming business, so I've got some background music on, so let me know if it's too loud, too quiet. Couple things. I have an open mic now, so you might occasionally hear a baby crying, but hopefully she'll be quiet. And also my girlfriend's watching John Wick in the background, so you might occasionally hear her say something as well, but she's trying to be quiet. So we'll see how this goes.
Oh, this sounds so cool. I'm just gonna watch the show.
Glad you are enjoying it, Alistair Butler. And hello, Nurgle-sama, if that's how I pronounce it correctly. Okay. Right. Today we're going to make some missions, or at least we're going to make one mission, and we're going to just start from scratch. This is going to be Battle 11, Mission 1. And this mission, I've got a paragraph written out of what this mission is going to be about. It's a unique mission. It's going to start with basically you attacking a large Zarin-controlled convoy. And you're going to be in a missile boat. It's going to be kind of an inverse of Battle 6 Mission 2 Reimagined, where you are escorting a large convoy for Zarin. So this way we're flipping it around, and you will instead be destroying a massive convoy. Hello, Ras Talon. I haven't named the baby after any ISD. I'm not sure the Imperial Star Destroyer Haley is a really imposing sounding name for a Star Destroyer. Bit fluffy, maybe. Alright, so we have a blank canvas. So first off we need to get ourselves into the proper teams. Because we're not rebel scum, are we? No, no rebel scum. Rebel... and this one will be Zarin. And I want this one to be this is Allied, not Yogmi. Yogmi, whatever you're supposed to pronounce it. I tend to use Allied most of the time just because that's what I know best, and I kind of prefer some of the way this does things. Particularly, like I've got a nice big expanded full screen interface here. But Yogmi does have its uses. Particularly, its map editor is quite good for positioning ships because it actually scales ships properly. So it's much better for that. Allied doesn't show the new ships properly, so yeah, it's useful for that. There's a couple of other things it's quite useful for as well, but generally I use Allied most of the time. What do I want to do? I want to give IFF names. Mercs, Zarin, Ryadu base, Convoy. And we'll put you in a missile boat. Not sure what we'll actually call you for now. So we'll just go with good old Alpha. Okay. Now then, I want us to start off at Iridu base, which is a base that is established in Battle 9, Mission 1. If you've seen a couple of the streams before, I have shown this mission and the base you'll be based from. So let's go and load that up. No, that's the wrong button. There we go. And good, we have positions, but there's one that shouldn't be there properly. Let's put your start position over here. So, and we want an interdictor. We're going to pick up Red Claw. Doesn't exist anymore, I think. It was destroyed or otherwise heavily damaged. So I think we'll use the Whirlwind this time.
3 to 4 episodes, like the first ones. Yeah, kind of.
Thank you, French Lich. Not everyone enjoys it. Some people prefer Guy Siner. I've seen at least 3 or 4 comments thinking I'm an American doing a very bad impression of a British officer. I mean, I suppose I could play it that I'm actually a British guy playing an American who's playing a very bad British officer. But I based the performance on more sort of a World War II British officer, or sort of the time BBC journalist. There's a good video, or rather audio, where you can hear this journalist who's describing the attack over the English Channel by the Luftwaffe, and you can just hear his voice, and that's the sort of voice I went for. Right, so I've already got this base established. I saved it, so it saves me a lot of time in having to recreate the base every single time, and it'd just be a case of moving ships around. I'm not too fussed about doing that. That's more sort of window dressing at this point. But one thing I do need to do as I go along with this is keep an eye on ship names, what ships are destroyed along the way, and what ships I need to remove if I'm going to add reinforcements along the way for Thrawn's fleet. But yeah, this is where we're starting. But we are all going to be needing a hyperbuoy to go to the next region. So, dun, dun, dun. And of course, they're right in the middle.
Can you pause?
Okay.
I was just listening. Maybe it was
Now I need to get region 2 activated. It's hyper to region 2. And now we have region 2. Okay. Not going to worry too much about positioning of the player or anything just yet. Right now I'm just going to put down some assets and see what we can do. Let's put these over here. And we're also going to need some backgrounds first, so let's just start with something basic. Do that again because I'm not sure that did that properly. Okay. That looks correct. And we need a light source. We'll give that a purple light source so it doesn't get confused with IFF. I think that's fine. That's fine. I think we'll put 86 for now. Then I need to give it a position. This is how backgrounds work. You've got different positions for the star fields. And the sun, well, or any backdrop you put, it doesn't matter where you necessarily put this on the map. It doesn't matter if you put it up here or over here in terms of distance. As long as it's within a circle, this is where, you know, from this middle point, if it's up here, the sun will be positioned here relative to the player, regardless of where the player is. So if the player's, if I put, yeah, I can't right now, but if the player was up here above it, then the sun would still appear as if it was to your 2 o'clock. That will do for now. And then we can hide those so they're not a problem. Right. Let's put some ships down. Let me just check chat quickly. Let's see what we got. Yes, I did do the voice for Vader in Reimagined as well, for better or worse. Audacity is your best friend when it comes to doing that sort of stuff. I just tried to match the intonations of James L. Jones a bit as best as I could, and then, you know, lower the pitch, add the breathing, all the sort of effects that try and make it sound like it's in the helmet. I don't think I said it that many times, because it's not always alpha. I think I basically put on the Stellaris soundtrack because hopefully that won't get me any copyright problems, and it's game soundtrack, so let's not worry about waypoints yet, should we? I don't know. Well, it's I think it's, you know, good background music to have, especially when I mean, it's a 4X game. The music shouldn't be too invasive in what you're doing. It's just background flavour, and I think that's good enough for now. I could play the TIE Fighter music, but I think we've all heard that a lot, so something a bit more varied. No disrespect to you, James, and your awesome remastered soundtrack, of course. I'm trying to think here. What position do we want the freighter to be on? I think just to save myself some time, we'll just plonk things down. So now we need to vary up this freighter fleet. I want some of these to be Zarin controlled, and I want others to be mercenary controlled, because at this point I want Zarin to be trying to rely on third-party sources to keep his fleet going. I need to do something here because this is kind of annoying. Yeah. I should probably save this before I make the wrong button click somewhere. Let's just say Battle 11, Mission 1. No mothership assigned. Well, yeah, I don't care about that. And I also need to give it an INI file. Okay, we'll use something I already have. Update. Oh, fuck you. Don't you just hate it when that happens? Battle 11, Mission 1. Probably going to need Planet 2 TFTC for this. Yeah, that's good. Alright. put some escort ships in.
Do you like clubs like that?
Do, 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 do. I have never once completed a game of Stellaris. Actually, no, I lie. I have, and that was a multiplayer game with 2 friends. That is the only game of Stellaris I have ever completed. But I tend to play 4X games mostly on my own. And yeah, once you get to the end game, or at least you get to a point where you're kind of steamrolling over everyone, it loses interest for me. You've pretty much won at that point. There's no point in kind of completing to the end. It's not fun. I've lost the challenge. But also with Stellaris, there's the problem of how slow the games get at end game levels. It just crawls along and takes forever to do things, and that in itself also gets just kind of boring and frustrating. I think that's a problem a lot of 4X games tend to have, as much as I do enjoy them. Okay, we've got some basic assets down. This isn't a very large fleet right now, but I'm just trying to think how this is all going to go. Let's take a quick look at this in the game. It should work straight away, I think. Mission list. Yes, it is. Okay. I actually need to check the original mission to see what some of these ship names are, because I think it's like that in the original. You intercept a convoy, and it's actually just a dreadnought and 3 freighters. Huh. I think actually, yeah, we'll add a dreadnought pattern. Yeah, let's do that. Let's add in a dreadnought. Nope. Where is dreadnought? This ship list in Allied is awful. It's ordered in a bad way, in my opinion. I like to keep these colours together if we can. Keep the capitals at the top. Put these at the bottom. Alright. I think we could space these out a little more. Okay, right, let's take a look at this in game. Okay, in-game audio shouldn't be too loud. Well, it's really loud for me. Nope, nope. Ah, that's a lot of lag. Ah, I know why that's a lot of lag. Okay, yeah, that's loading up the high definition models. We need to fix that. Okay, whatever, we'll fix that later. All right. Let's take a look at what we got here.
Yeah.
Okay. Looks kind of nice. We're going to have more convoy ships to shoot. But we got 4 escort capitals, including a carrier, so there should be some interesting stuff to do here. I'm not sure about the carrier yet. It depends. There's the sun. There's the sun. Hello, sun. All right. Yeah, I'm generally happy with that layout. But now we need to, I think, add more to that. But not in region 1, thank you. Right, what do we say? Models are too high definition, so we need to fix that. I think this one will do. That. I won't do the VSDs, just the ISD. I'm not a modeler, so I can't maybe explain this too well, but many of the models have LODs, or level of details, so the game should know when to basically render a lower poly version at a certain distance. I don't know if I can demonstrate that. Getting a little feedback there. No. Go back. I don't know what would be a good example. I think, yeah, I think the Nebula B2 frigate has a level of detail. I think it's to do with this distance thing here. That when it gets a certain distance, it renders a lower version, a poly version of the model. But in the case of what I just did, shut up. Too many windows. In the case of what I just did, this is part of X-Wing Alliance Upgrade's hook system, where you can basically swap out models for different ones for certain ships. So in this case, I'm telling it to replace this model with this model, which is basically the older version of the ISD2 model. As sexy as the new model looks, it is such a frame rate hog that I almost always replace it with this one, especially as most of the time I have an ISD2 shown, there's several of them. So that's the basic way of saying how it does. Right, I don't want to have to keep hyperspacing every time, so I'm going to stick myself in region rather 2. Let's put myself here so I can get a better view of the fleet when we start. This is irritating. You have to minimize it, otherwise the windows keep showing. Here we go. I don't think so. I've seen you animate, and I can't do that. Different skills, different applications. There we go. That's a bigger fleet. Frame rate's pretty good. There's a lot of things for you to blow up. Okay, cool. Tip myself into busy mode so I can get annoying noises. Okay. I want to now set those to Zarin because they're Imperial. To give them something to shoot at. I think these are all the ones with weapons. Starship Circle, IFF, Imperial, 0. This is where I actually get annoying because they might hyperspace out. Let's hope they stay in position. Let's see. We need to check their AI. Oh, fuck Okay, well, things are shooting at me, so progress. Do you want to give you a beam weapon? Okay, let's give you 200% shields, double missiles, counter, chaff, tractor beam. Okay. This is not going to be a you versus the entire convoy, by the way. You are going to join an Imperial Star Destroyer and an Interdictor. So you will have some decent support here. So I might still make this convoy even bigger. But let's see. But I think we've got a good base to start from now. Now, this will probably be the annoying bit where I have to give them some waypoints. And I hate this, because it's really tedious. So I do that. They all shift position. Not only that, but anything on the Z plane is going to automatically go to the 0. There you go. So do. Yeah, doing this waypoints is one of the less fun things to do in mission editing because it can get very tedious. It doesn't matter how you do it. I tend to just prefer lining them up like this a bit, and then I can refine them further using the waypoints box here, because you can give the specific numbers. And yeah, when you do, the larger the fleet, the more you have to do this, especially you have to deal with multiple waypoints. But when it comes to a fleet, I do try to keep it fairly simple if I can. What have we got left? Okay. This is a nice useful feature, being able to see all the waypoints at once, although when you get a lot of ships it can get a bit messy, but you can at least try to make sure everything's kind of aligned correctly and more or less moving in the same direction at the same speed, and will hit their waypoints at the same point. At this point I'm just doing this. Alrighty then. Cool. Right. Now we need to give them an arrival point. 100% must arrive in region 2. I might give it a different condition later, but for now this will do. Let's start with 15 seconds. Capital ships to come in a little later, perhaps. Now, I don't like ships coming in all at once as a big group, so I tend to stagger them over several seconds so it looks cooler. 16, 16, and we'll give that 18. Alright. I'm going to have to go back to region 1 though, otherwise this won't work. As the trigger is, the player must arrive in region 2. Since we're already in region 2, it won't trigger. I have to actually arrive from another region to region 2, and then they will trigger. Still a lot of lag here, but I'll have to sort that out later. Hang on. Oh, that's because I need to restart the game to refresh that. Okay, fine. Because it doesn't take into account the INI file until you redo it. Yes, and I have done mission making in Arma 3 as well. I did a little racing mission for Arma 3 a few years ago, which got quite popular. It's called the Great Altus Highway Race. I had to get a bit of help from the community there because I'm not a programmer and I needed some programming help to get it to do certain functions, but yeah. I quite enjoyed mission editing in Arma 3 though. Sometimes it's just fun to plonk as much as you can in the editor down before your frame rate chugs and just watch them all go at each other. There we go, that's better. Still a little chuggy, but nowhere near as bad. It's because of this. This is an ISD2. I think it's the only ISD2 here, but just that being here really killed the frame rate, because that's how chunky it is as a model. Anyway, did I miss the hyper buoy? There we go, that's fine. Alright, we're here. Based on where I've actually entered from, I think they're actually going to come in behind me. There we go. Okay, there's a slight problem there because I didn't do the Z plane, so they've all kind of come down facing a certain angle, but okay, we'll try that again. Always cuts off at that point. This is a bit quicker than doing it the other way. Manually dragging the lines so they look correct. When it comes to the Z plane, I actually prefer this to be more accurate. Good. Right. from Eridu base. We need a waypoint so we know where to come from. Let's put you up a little bit. Okay. Alright. And where are we here? You're too far away, so let's put you there. Okay. Let's try that again and see how it looks from a different angle. Now we're waiting about 15 seconds. Here we go. There they are. Yeah, that looks cool. Now, one thing I'd say here is that it's a bit difficult to see them properly because, you know, the black of space and all. But yeah, okay, we have the makings of our convoy. Okay, but yeah, it's a bit difficult to see them coming in because of the black of space. Now I can increase the light source, but I actually tend to prefer sometimes putting a nebula in. I do see the occasional complaint that people think, oh, this is too much nebula, or, you know, Star Wars didn't have these kind of things. But aside from this, as well as looking prettier, at least in my opinion, I think there's a practical element here as well, as the player actually needs to be able to see their targets, and so putting them against a backdrop where you can actually see their silhouette a lot better makes better sense from a gameplay point of view. At least in my opinion it does anyway. I mean, certainly with this engine, which, you know, it's prettier engine, but there are limitations to its graphics compared to modern systems. So I want a nebula, and I need to figure out what nebula I actually want, at least as a temporary, perhaps. I think for the last mission I used something else. I don't want to keep reusing the same ones. Ilios is supposed to be making me a couple more new wraparound nebula types. And it's actually possible. No, they use a different DAT file, so that's fine. No, I need a new, so I don't get out of this. What did we use here? 101. Okay. 101 is wispy blue, very low intensity. Let's try 103 then. I'm going to need this as a reference point. So I'm going to delete 3 of these because we don't need them. Basically, I'm only keeping the pole star fields, and the third one becomes a wraparound nebula. 985. I think the others also need to be 0.985. Yes. There we go. I might increase the light source a little bit more. Alright. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, I tried to mix it up so, you know, at least half of the missions will be in the black of space. But then it's easier because you've got larger targets, like Star Destroyers or platforms or something like that. So here we go, we've got a purple Nebula now. Let's see if this makes things a little easier to spot. It's very low intensity. Here we go. Where are they? So they're a little bit easier to spot now against the blackness. I might use something a little bit more defined than purple. What else have we got in the bag? Wispy blues, light intense pop marks, darker blues. This is my cheat sheet for trying to remember what slots have what in terms of backgrounds. It's out of date, but well, some of it is anyway. But this is the wraparounds that I currently have. Thank you, Texasist. Glad you enjoy it. Intense green is, well, too intense, I think. But you know what? I want to see what this looks like under intense green. It might be horrible, but let's go crazy. Let's have a look. Was it 77? Yes, it was 77. All right. Let's see how intense green looks. Okay, that's, wow, not as intense as I may have expected, but you can definitely see the fleet a lot better, but it's actually coming from a darker point. Interesting. I don't know. What do you guys think? Think the green works? I don't think I've actually used that one before, because I wasn't sure about the intensity of the green in certain missions. I don't think it was as bad as I expected it to be. I do want to add in a planet of some kind though as well, something in the background, not too close in the distance, and I'm going to need to remember what I actually used for that. I need to come out of the game here. No, let's just use the Explorer. Because I added in some stuff yesterday, the other day. Yes, Michael. I was actually thinking that because of the green, it's kind of the same color as the Imperial lasers, and that might make it harder for the player to see when they're being shot at. So that's a good point. I don't necessarily need to use a wraparound nebula here. I could use something else. That's an inhabited planet. It's kind of cool. Ooh, I like that one. We had some nebula as well. Ooh, that looks cool. That looks cool. I might try that. This is not a wraparound nebula though, so I might have to restore the star field to its original parameters. And then we'll add in this new backdrop. Again, give it a mission. IFF as a mean. Where's the player coming in from? Player's coming in from there. They're coming in here. We want this to be illuminated from where they're coming in. And where are you going to be? You are in slot 4-1. Okay. So slot 4-1. I think that's gonna be too big. Let's put the brightness to 2. What kind of intensity we got? That's a orangey color, isn't it? Darker orangey. Well, let's stick with that for now, and let's see how that looks in game. That's no moon. Yeah, text assist. Vader's TIE Fighter is invincible. You cannot destroy it.
She's fleeing.
Ah, that's all wrong. That's all wrong. First off, that's too small. It's kind of squarish. And where's the proper star field? Okay. That's not good. Not good. Are they using the wrong... Yeah, they are. That's why that's not working. They're using the wrong one. There we go. Alright, let's make this bigger. Let's put 0.8. Better. Better. Let's see. Oh yeah, that looks way better. That looked cool. I like that. Okay. I might try and up the brightness a little. I might make this a little bit bigger. I feel like adding another backdrop here for the moon. Give you IFF. Blue. And close that down. What was the planet moon I wanted? Do this one. 3, 2. Or do we want something else? I'm not quite sure yet where I want these guys interdicted. If I just want them interdicted in the middle of space. That's an inhabited planet, clearly. I don't think green goes well with that nebula. This one might work though, but I've got to take into account where the sun is. So this one is 3, 5. Okay. 3, 5. I've got to think about where the sun is in relation to this. 0.1 brightness. How big's the file? No. That's quite big. Let's say 0.2. No, 3 for now. To save time for me hyperspacing, I'm just going to start in region 2 straight away. Means the convoy won't arrive, but that's fine. I just want to see the background right now. Okay. It's a little bit squarish, but at least the edges are all right. And there's our planet. Yeah, sun's not in the right position, and also the sun's in the wrong order because it looks a bit too faded.
No, he's slacking. He was just slacking.
I'm not sure about that. Not sure about that at all. Okay. Hello, Father Son Flight Simulator. That's an interesting name if I ever saw one. Yeah, I don't know what point. Oh, they're in their final fight in John Wick right now. I don't know. Quandary. That one might work. We'll fade in the background. I think I can put it in a place I like. Let's see, that's 2, 4. Alright. 2, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's put it over here instead. Let's see how that looks. No, she will not be joining to talk about her least favourite game, TIE Fighter. And yes, that is the film John Wick, at least the first one. Nice, simple plot for excellent action. I'm a big fan of these, of those film series. Okay, that works a little better, but I don't know. I guess I don't think it needs to be that big. I still need to fix the sun. Also needs to be at an angle so that matches the light. Does that have an atmosphere? Yeah, it does. Okay. Let's call it 0.2. And let's hide everything but the backgrounds for now. Sun's there. Does that make sense? Sun's already up above. Let's raise it higher then. Maybe put that down. I'm not sure. Let's do that. And the sun must not be in the foreground, it has to be in the background. So that should work. Yes. Ooh. Idea just struck me. I don't know if that's going to work though. What's a red sun? Red is 92. Okay. Well, not sure how well that might work, but I'm kind of curious to try now. Add 92, 0.5, 0.3. Which one's the Nebula? That was this one, so we want to put that in front of the Nebula. Nebula is here. Let's see if this works. I'm just trying something out here. The editor, you mean? Father Son? If so, then yes, it's a free download. Hello, Jedi Inferno. Welcome to my, well, hopefully somewhat interesting stream. Okay. No, that did not work as I had hoped. Huh. Okay. Okay. What if I do this? Wait, hang on. That's because you're not a son. Stupid thing. Okay. Okay. Let's try that. It's always the failure music I have to listen to every time. I have failed to make the mission as good as it could be. Now, there we go. That actually works much better than Yes. So what I've done is I've added another star. And the way the game does this... Let's see if I can explain. The way the game does this, so this is the star, the second star. I never actually bother naming backgrounds, but anyway. Let's call this Sun 2. And that one's Sun 1. So the way the game does this, if you... these are the main starfield backgrounds here. If I put the sun here above these backgrounds, the actual texture of the sun itself, the image, won't show because it's behind the backdrop. However, because suns are unique in that they actually give off the shine effect, you'll get instead this kind of faded look from the light, and I think that works really well for this background. Because we do have, obviously, other stars in this nebula, and it should give us some shine. So that looks cool, I think. That gives us a nice faded look. Might make it a bit smaller, but yeah. Not too sure about the 2D thing there going on there. Yeah. Okay. Okay. How's the alignment there? Yeah, that's good. That's good. Now I might need to move it a little still, but okay. So let's go back to putting us in region 1. I want to make this a little bit bigger. And then we'll try again. Do, 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 do. Yeah, that looks nice. That looks nice. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That looks cool. And we've got the kind of copperish glow coming off the ship hulls here. You can see it. I think it's best on the strike cruiser here. You can see this kind of yellowish, copperish glow. I think that looks well. And yeah. Yeah, that looks good. Might be a bit too much lighting on the ship hulls, but yeah. I'm quite pleased with that. Alright. So how long are we going? We're going about an hour and 15 minutes now. And already we have the makings of our convoy mission. We've got a nice visual setting. We've got our convoy warping in a nice cool fashion. But we don't have any actual gameplay yet. This is all set up in window dressing and just getting the basic feel of the mission down. So now let's switch tacks here. We've done enough with backgrounds for now. Let's reactivate these. So we're going to have the ISD Courageous, Interdictor Whirlwind, and again we're going to need some. Where's the Courageous? Courageous is down here. Missile boat down here as well. We need to lift these up. We'll lift them up here. Where's the interdictor? Interdictor's there. That's fine, I guess. And I like seeing the imposing look of a destroyer. Or do we want to do it a different way? I'm not sure. See what that looks like. Okay. Frame lag. I really need to optimize this setting because it's a bit too much. I guess we could probably do that with the Victory Destroyer. It's using a higher model, poly model. This is the downside of this engine. If it wasn't so CPU bottlenecked and it actually took advantage of modern hardware, you know, this would be nice and smooth. We could probably even have a bigger fleet and it would be fine. I mean, I haven't even put anything like fighter patrols or anything like this around, so I'm going to have to probably remove ships, really space them out. Yeah. Okay. Now, given our hyperspace vector, we're going to want to pull back a bit, I think. And yeah, this is going to be where a quirk of the engine comes into play. Because if I have these ships hyper in at this angle straight up, when they come out at this angle, they won't be in the same formation. They will actually be slightly awkwardly different. I need to see how it's going to look, but I might actually have to create a separate flight group for these. So these will go off and despawn, and then we'll create new ones that will spawn in here, so they maintain the correct formation that they entered hyperspace in. Let's move this to the top so I don't have to keep moving down. We'll say hyperspace to region 2. And speed, need a waypoint. Oh, thank you for doing that. Oh, what happened there? Okay. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Nice Star Trek reference there. Pretty sure I said quirk, though. Although, no, Gowron actually says the House of Quirk. Quark. There's this guy, what's his name? It's called Jim will paint it. So if you send in a request saying you want to see Han Solo and Chewbacca sitting in a Quark's bar on DS9, with luck, he might actually do that for you. Jim will paint it. Look it up. Well, they went into hyperspace very quickly there, but that's fine. Okay, no, that was wrong. Looks cool though, but it's wrong. Yes, the failure music continues. Because what I didn't do was set their actual exit vector properly, so there we go. I'm going to need all this on. And I think we should give them a second waypoint here as well. So right, let's try that and see how that looks. Okay. Not as bad as I thought it might be, but still the interdictor is now ahead when it was behind. So this is an example of why that doesn't work so well. God, this looks so cool. But yeah, we don't want the interdictor forward here because that's bad tactical positioning. We want the interdictor behind so the destroyer can cover it. So I might be able to fix this a little, but no, if I do that, if I put it further back, I think it's going to exacerbate the situation. Let's see. Alright, I forgot to actually update its waypoint, so it's actually going to take like 2 minutes to jump away now, I think. Yeah. No, can't do that. This is the life of mission editing. Make a mistake, stop, go back to the editor, save, try again. better. Not great, but better. Yeah, I think in this case I'll just have to make it despawn and come in separately, because I like things to be consistent. I don't like it when they narratively doesn't make sense. So yeah, we'll have you instead just simply fly home, which means you now need an actual departure point. That's fine, departure point. Okay. So you disappeared there, which means we now need a new interdictor flight group called Whirlwind. And you're going to come up here, and you're going to arrive behind the destroyer. Might make the Courageous do a little bit different there, so we can have it block. You're coming in at a slightly low angle there, aren't you? So we need to do that so it's not too low. Whirlwind can be... I think we can put the Whirlwind a bit higher up, so it's got better coverage from the destroyer's main guns. And what we'll do, have you guys Starship Patrol and Attack. We're going to need a global group here for this lot, so let's call them Global Group. Let's call them Global Group 3 for now. Starship Patrol and Attack, Global Group 3, and we'll make you have some better AI. Good, good, good. Captain Goosden, idiot. That should work. Maybe, but I do want some kind of threat to the Whirlwind. It's easy enough to change that later on. Right now I think we've got decent enough blocking. Also, we're establishing in Battle 9 that Captain Goosden, who is mentioned in the original and is also an idiot, is that Captain Goosden is an idiot, glory-seeking idiot, who will go and get things blown up when they shouldn't. If you've seen Rebels, think of Admiral Constantine screwing up Thrawn's tactics. This is a Constantine type character, I'm thinking. Not quite as cowardly or anything, but he does like glory seeking, and so he will put his glory seeking ahead of his any assets in his fleet. But you know, destroying a convoy is should be fairly easy, even for someone like Goosden. Thank you for joining Ota King. Look forward to seeing your further work with the intro. Take care. Jedi Inferno. This editor is called Allied. It's very old. It was last updated in 2007. There is another mission editor called Yogmi, or Ye Old Galactic Empire Editor, mission editor rather, and that's a modern editor, which is being worked on by community members at the moment for all versions of the Totally Games series. So it goes from X-Wing to TIE Fighter, X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, and X-Wing Alliance. So if I actually made a TIE Fighter mission, I can actually go to the briefing officer and give you different debriefings and whatnot. This is what X-Wing Alliance actually is lacking, which is really a shame, because it forced us to make the Secret Order stuff primary objectives rather than hidden ones. But yeah, this stuff in TIE Fighter this is what we would really want in X-Wing Alliance if we could possibly have it, but we can't, so yeah. But the main reason I tend to use Ye Old Galactic Empire mission editor, which is quite a mouthful, is for its map. I'll demonstrate. So if we open this mission that we've got here and open up its map here, let's go to region 2. Not sure why the destroyer's there, but whatever. It's a bit laggy, but you get better wireframe models. It will load up all models within the directory it's assigned to, so even new ships that we've added, it will load the proper wireframe models in there and whatnot. You can mass select waypoints, which you can't do in Allied. You can mass select ships in Allied, but you can't mass select waypoints. So if I add this, I could select all of these and simply move their waypoints like this, and that's so useful sometimes to do. Especially if you want to move a group of ships around, but we don't want to do that, so no. Yes. Okay, so we have Courageous and World War coming in. Fine line between bravery and stupidity. I would say Kustin is more competent than Constantine is, but reckless and stupid, tactically speaking. Might get him somewhere, some places, but I mean, he made captain of a Star Destroyer, so clearly he went somewhere, but yeah. In the original TIE Fighter, he went and got his ship lost with his attack on a Zarin base. So I'm just taking that and expanding it further. Okay, so we have a fleet, we got that, but we still don't have any real gameplay. What we need now is an actual bunch of fighters and enemy fighters to fight. And this is where things get complicated, because then I need to think about, okay, how many fighters do we want? How big a scale battle do we want here? We got a full-sized ISD, so that's potentially up to 6 squadrons of fighters. We've got the Interdict, which has got at least a squadron or 2 itself, and then we've got a modified frigate, a strike cruiser, an escort carrier, and a dreadnought for enemy capitals. So we can potentially face 5 or 6 squadrons of enemy fighters ourselves. But in this case, the player, we really want the player to be blowing up all the capitals and the freighters, not concentrating on dogfighting too much. So we have the dogfighting be more of a sort of background spectacle thing, whilst you go and do your thing. So let's go and add in some fighters. Start with the good old TIE fighters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's set that. We'll have a couple of TIs, couple of TBs maybe as well. And this can be our Imperial attack force. Oh, one thing I forgot to do. Whirlwind needs this new Whirlwind needs a arrival condition, otherwise it's just going to be there the whole time. And since it's different, so we need to say 100% of ISD Courageous must arrive in region 2. We'll give it a 2-second delay. Then it should show up. Right, and we'll give these guys a mothership of ISD Courageous. Departure, ISD Courageous. And we'll bump this up, 3, 4. And arrival conditions. 100% of must arrive in region 2. Start this from now. And I'm not sure how many wingmen I want to give the player here. Certainly no more than 2 extra missile boats, I think. Let's try with 2 missile boats for now, and we can always change this at a later date. Okay, just mute myself there briefly so you didn't have to hear me spamming or clicking. Let's give them a global group of 2. Move these up to here. Missile boat Alpha. Global unit 1 and then 2. Do this here so it's easier. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, it will, but I'm just doing this for convenience sake. I can give a general order and then I can sort of space it out as a result from there. So let's start with 15, then 20. I think these guys can arrive if 50% of flight group. This one is destroyed. For now, you can arrive. What have we got here? You can arrive 30 seconds later. 35, 40, and you can arrive if 100% of flight group is destroyed. Why, thank you, Father Son. Now, pirates in the original version of this mission had T-wings, I believe, so let's create some T-wings. I don't think the Dreadnought has a hangar, does it? Need to check this model quickly. Dreadnought. Does it have a hangar? Yes, it does. There's the hangar. Okay, cool. Just need to make sure it did have one. All right, mercenary. T-wing. What did it call them back in the original? Outright. Lovely naming there. That said, I'm shit with names myself, so. I generally stick fairly close to what they would in law be able to carry, so I think an ISD is 6 squadrons of fighters, but yes, I will bend this to suit the practicalities of the mission. Battle 7 Mission 1 is a good example of that, where you're protecting the halfbacks. You have the Harpax and the modified frigate Osprey, which together is what, I don't know, but you have more than that available. More than either ship could possibly carry. So yeah, I do bend it as necessary, but I generally try and stick to what would be reasonable for them to do. These guys need to start a mission around each one, so that's fine. But not you. No. There we go. Alright. I think we would have... Would they escort? I think we'll have 2 escorting come in. And then these 2 can launch later. I think we'll have 1 wave of 4. What's the arrival condition? Yeah, that's missile boat 1. Okay, so we'll say 100% flight group. Dread unnamed, even though it should be called Rahmat. Unnamed must arrive. We'll give it a 5 second. No, let's give it a 3 second. No, actually, let's give it a 2 second delay. Rahmat. Now, at this point in the conflict, I'd say Zaren's gone through quite a few TIE Advanced, and so I don't want to see too many advanced fighters in this mission. It's going to be maybe a token number of TIE Advanced, I think, should come in with this, and then the rest will just be regular fighters. But I have... I'm trying to establish at this point that Zaren, because he's good with his starfighter tech and he wants to try and maintain that edge, has started equipping his regular TIEs with shield generators. Not necessarily all of them, but just him trying to maintain that edge, especially as he's lost some of his capabilities, so he's just trying to maintain that edge. You guys can arrive when 50% of your respective flight groups are destroyed. Nope, wrong one. I'd say 1 squadron is good enough. We'll split this up as groups of 2. TIE Advanced. And you are Zaren. I don't think it matters too much where the fighters come in. Still, I want to keep this varied a little. Keep these relatively simple. Okay. Give them a waypoint. Okay. Then we need to move you all up here. Okay. Now we need a few more fighters. I'm umming and ahhing about the escort carrier because that could potentially just add too many enemy fighters to the mix. So I might just replace that with another cruiser of some kind. One, two, we give this 2 more squadrons. You'd think that would be enough, wouldn't you? No, not at this point, Michael. At this point, Zarin still has a significant fleet under his command, and although I haven't thought about it too much yet, presumably still some kind of bases and factories where he's at least producing some material. Yeah. We'll stick with the Imperial lineup for now. I do actually... Someone gave me the idea, I think it was Jonathan Ludvis, whatever his name is. He's done a bunch of... He's done all the Reimagined missions on his channel. He suggested that as another sort of X-Wing Alliance crossover, we bring in those TIE Bizarros, the ones that have like turbo lasers on them, or different kind of experimental TIEs he was working on, which I think was Battle 2 X-Wing Alliance, and the player there destroyed those factories and whatnot. But I'd like to imagine that he would resurrect that a little bit and try and churn out some of these Bizarros just as a sort of desperate last minute sort of thing he can do, or somewhere he had stashed away somewhere. Yeah, maybe a Lancer frigate, but they're pretty weak. If I wouldn't have 1 Lancer frigate, I'd have at least 2. In fact, maybe 2 Lancer frigates and an Arquitans might go well here. Yeah. But we're on Battle 11, let's see. Yeah, he still has a lot of his fleet available, so... Because I don't think Zoran would risk losing an escort carrier at this point, so... Let's go for an Arquitans. Where are you, Arquitans? Let's do that. I think we'll move this a little bit. No, I want to save myself some time here and copy and paste. In fact, I might just stick these with Arquitans and leave it at that and see how that works. Okay, I think that works. I'll put that there a little bit. Alright, that's that out of the way. Okay, I'm curious to see how this will work for now. Let's see, what have we got here? I think these guys will circle waypoints to begin with before engaging. I don't think it makes much sense that they'd attack straight away. We want them to go, oh fuck, there's something here. We need to attack. Seconds. Yeah, that kind of works. That works. So, order 2 and attack targets. I'll say global group 2. And I do want some threats to the player. So we'll have you, and that is a secondary. I'll have you as global group 1 actually. Seven and 8. So we'll have global group 1 as a secondary. Yeah, let's try that for now. And attack targets. And starfighters, IFF, Zarin. Ship category, starfighters. Let's do that for now. Ah, bugger. I hate it when that happens. Yeah, we want these to circle first, don't we? Except for those two. That one. Yeah, we just want that to do that anyway, so... And we also need to change this so they don't all go for the mercenary straight away. And you guys, meanwhile, can attack global group 3. And of course, you're going to need some torpedoes for that, aren't you? Proton torpedoes, ace. So we need to do some AI behavior stuff here. Stick these on veteran. I think we'll give the ace. Advanced torpedoes. Chaff. Oh. Now I need to do more waypoints, because waypoints are fun. Let's do this one. So basically, we're going to arrive first before the convoy. We launch fighters, and I want them to establish a sort of circle pattern here, and then that way it kind of distributes the fighters more evenly, so they don't all end up going for one target so easily. It's not going to matter too much for that one, actually. It's just the TIE interceptors we want to do. So disable this for a moment. Okay. And your almost circle waypoints are gonna last 10 loops, so they don't do anything. Okay, I think we can test this, but we need to jump to when 100% of global group 3 arrives. Oh yeah, we need to do it for the bomber as well. I think the bombers can stay a bit further back. But you will circle waypoints and jump to this order when 100% of global group 3 arrives. Alright. Shall we see what this looks like in game and see what a horrible mess it is? I haven't actually set up my wingmen yet. They're stuck in region 1. But after doing so much editing here, I want to see what this might kind of look like. Yes, indeed. Here they come. Okay, they've arrived a little too soon for the fighters, but that's okay. Got our bombers making attack runs. Let's give them a little hand, shall we? Nice. Okay. It's nothing but kind of disorganized chaos at the moment, but it looks really cool. And this is what I kind of want. This is a short, sharp attack, clear advantage for you. You're going to go to town, weaving in and out of these capital ships, fighters attacking, all the while just bye-bye. Now, I've got invulnerability on, that's why I'm not dying, and I'm not really trying. And we've got a big cluster of other fighters going on there. So, for a first draft of fighter combat, it's not too bad, it looks cool. I think the combat's happening too much around here at the moment. There's more reinforcements to come. We need to give some kind of threat to the Interdictor, I think. But ultimately, I think rather than you having to deal with missile defense or defending your Interdictor, it's more a case of defending yourself and making sure this convoy goes down. But yeah, it's looking good. We're getting there. Okay, I'm going to have to call it there, I'm afraid, because it's getting a bit late here for me. And unfortunately I do have to work in the morning, but I hope you've enjoyed what I've done. We have gone from a completely blank slate to what you have just seen in 2 hours. And I think that's pretty good. I think we've done well here. There's still a lot to do. We need to, actually do some kind of balancing. But we've got our convoy, we've got our friendly forces, we know what we really want to do. Now it's a case of adding more fighters, balancing things out, making the mission flow better, adding some goals, and then we have our mission. Yeah, not bad, not bad. Yeah, I might see if the Courageous will get close enough to start doing its own kind of damage, but I've got to be careful, because if it gets too close, it might end up just getting destroyed itself by all the defensive fire from the other ships. I mean, it's not just the capital ships. Half the convoy has its own guns, and that kind of all adds up very quickly. I mean, if you've played them on enough, you know how quickly a capital ship can die sometimes when it's got enough lasers being shot at it. But there are ways around that as well. We can actually buff the Courageous individually for this mission and give it more hit points, so it's not it's a lot more tanky. But yeah, so yeah, that's it. I don't know when I'll do another stream, but as I said, I hope you've enjoyed, and yeah, I will see you guys next time. Fly safe.